Good evening, friends of the pod. Here we are. It's the day after Labor Day. Summer is pretty much over, as we've been saying for a couple weeks now. Football is in the air. Welcome to the local sports pod. It is game week number 3 as the Cougars get set for their home opener this coming Friday, September the 5th. Excitement is in the air. 28-7 is the score. That sounds a lot worse than it is. But when you look at a quarterback that had almost 140 yards passing, a running back that almost topped in at 100 yards for the game, a defense that kept themselves in check pretty much most of the game, probably midway end of third quarter with a score of a 14-7, minus some miscues. They gave their all. But again, as said last week, we flush it. We're here. Things are better. Things have progressed. And the man who's going to talk to us, as he does every week, is next to me as usual. The head Cougar, so to speak, as we welcome in and say hello to head coach Scott Sacco.
Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, here we are, right? Just getting started. Scott, I guess we'll start with Williamsport as we always do. I think I always try to keep it positive. There's no sense to try to get down on our kids. You'll talk more about that. I say our kids because they're your kids. They're our kids. And hopefully we can bring a nice crowd out here Friday night to support them as well. We'll talk about that more. But
you're exactly correct. It's like I inherited 60 more children, and even though they're close to not being children, they're growing into young men and young adults. So trying to show them the right way and the right way to do things. But let's talk Williamsport. This one hurt? It did. Week 1 we go to Nazareth, but I found out this week that Nazareth is ranked 6th in the state. So they had another blowout win where they put up 63 points. So I don't think there's any other team in the Wyoming Valley Conference that wouldn't get 40 points put on them like we did. It is what it is. But when you go against a rival, and let's just call a spade, Williamsport's a rival. They knocked us out of the playoffs last year.
Long history.
I played them. It was always a tough battle. They had some all-state guys come through there. Always a team with speed. And that's the thing. And we went there knowing and believing that we could win. And still to today, we still think that we could win.
I think a lot of us believe that we could have pulled that one out.
Yes. We had some miscues. First thing off the bat, we win the toss and we put our defense right on the field. Our defense got 46 points put on them week 1. And I said to our team pregame, I believe in our defense, and that's why we're going defense first. Our defense goes out there, young players, young mistakes, bad angles, 74 yards for a touchdown. We had the guys there, but it is just a learning curve and a learning process that goes through it. When you have young players, and I know this going from high school to college. I remember my first college game that I got in, it seemed like everything was at warp speed. That's kind of what our guys are going through right now. Stuff's flying around. Some of them, it's starting to slow down for. And you could see it. And we saw it in the game.
Right.
Because we did some really, really good things. But we also made some pretty poor decisions on some things. Just bad angles. When we have a clear open field tackle, we take a bad angle and you miscalculate a guy's speed and he gets by you and it's lights out. Because when they got speed, they got speed. And you take a bad angle and that's what happens. So boom, the game's 7-0 off the bat. We get the ball, moving the ball down the field. A couple miscues here and there. We're right in the game, going back and forth. We then make a mistake on offense. They get the ball. They score a touchdown. It's 14-0. We get the ball back. We score a touchdown. I'm sorry. It was before it was 14-0. We score a touchdown. It gets called back.
Right.
And it was a simple thing that a wide receiver didn't look over at the referee and check that he was on the line. And I can't just blame one guy because we were in a trips package and all three of them didn't look. And we got to know you always have to check with the referee and make sure you're on the ball. So we got a touchdown wiped off the board. That would have been 7-7. They then go down, score 14-0. We get the ball and kind of get some mustard behind us. We make a great drive and go down the field. We score, and then we stop them right before halftime. Right. It's 14-7 at halftime. The energy, the excitement that I saw from our players, not only our leaders, but also members on our team in the locker room halftime, that's what we've been looking for. That's what we've been waiting for. The fire, the excitement, the passion. We found that. Then go out in the second half, didn't go our way. We took them to the third quarter. We have an interception that gets returned down deep. They get another touchdown on that. And then the block punt. They block a punt, get the ball, maybe the 5-yard line, and they scored again. And boom, before you know it, if you just read it in the paper and you weren't at the game, oh, great, the Cougars lost again.
That's pretty much where it was at.
The Cougars are 0-2.
Right.
That's all. But if you're not there, you're not involved with this team, and you don't see what's going on, I mean, the proof is in the pudding and what's going on. Right. Now, at the end of the day, we're 0-2. You look at that, and we're not going to pout about it. It is what it is. Life lessons. So we need to make sure we don't go 0-3 this week. And we need to lock in. We need to focus. And we just need to improve again each week from Nazareth to Williamsport and now to West Scranton.
Building blocks.
We told our kids, you got to take that next step.
Right.
And we're getting there. We are definitely getting there. And I mean, the two guys that we're going to have on the program tonight are both sophomores. And they were MVP of the offense on Friday night, MVP of the defense Friday night. That's what our team is. It's young guys that are seeing the field, that see what's going on, trying to learn the speed of the game, because it comes fast, especially if you're a sophomore or even a freshman. We got a freshman starting at left tackle. How do you think he is going against a senior? There's times he looks like a senior, and then there's times he looks like a freshman.
Right.
That's just part of the game. But what is he going to be when he gets to be a senior? He's going to be one of those guys that is going to be wreaking havoc and giving that. But it's just part of the process and part of the learning curve.
Quickly, as we continue on, I didn't have a chance at the top of the show. We'll get into it more. I want to quickly thank our sponsors, our season sponsors, RL Marchetti Plumbing and Heating, Alta Pizzeria and Pasta House. They were our game week sponsor last week. They've latched on as a season sponsor as well. Coach Sacco just mentioned the two gentlemen we're going to bring on as our players of the game this week for the Williamsport game, thanks to Barbush Automotive and BLB Auto Sales. And our On the Bench segment with our special guest, like I said, we'll get to that stuff in just a little bit, Firo Funeral Services Incorporated. Scott, I just mentioned some personal ones and twos there. One of these guys that's going to come on here, almost 100-yard game.
Back to back. I think he had 97 yards against Nazareth.
Right. Yeah,
95 yards.
It was 97 and then 95 against Williamsport.
Yeah. Before the game, he was averaging 8.5 yards a carry. But the problem is when you're behind, like we have been, we got to throw the ball. We threw the ball 42 times this week. When you're behind, then you got to make plays happen. That's what happens. But man, if we could get a game and get some ground and pound going, we got the stuff to work, and we got the stuff there.
That young gentleman is just a sophomore. We'll get into him a little bit more.
I mean, we had some guys that really made some great plays. Freddie Corrado played great at quarterback. He's getting pressure on him. He's taking some hits. He scored a touchdown, just QB sneak right up the middle. Okay.
He actually scored a touchdown as well.
Yep. Got him into the end zone. We had guys that. One of the guys that's here had an interception, the second interception of the season. We had a D lineman, Marcus West, who read a screen. We've been talking about it for 3 weeks. Read a screen and picked it off it's a lineman's dream to pick it off.
Big guy.
Now, of course, when he picked it off, he had 3 linemen around him and the running back, so he got tackled right away.
Yeah, well.
That's
like
still,
you said, it's a lineman's dream when that happens and you have open field in front of you. It's even a bigger dream, but
I
take
mean,
one step at a time.
we got guys that are making plays, and I don't go back on what I said when I said we're young, we're hungry, and we're here to make some noise. We are. And if you ask Williams sports coach, he told me after the game, we had him on edge. We had him on edge the whole game.
I was just about to mention another highlight I did bring up earlier in the opening, but you had a defense that held those 14 points with those quick scores in the first, maybe 8 minutes of the first quarter, all the way till just about the middle towards the end of the third.
This is something that the fans don't see, or anybody that just reads it in the paper doesn't see. Williamsport changed their entire offense, and they changed their entire defense against us. So from their scrimmage to their first game, all the film that we had on them was completely different when we got to the game Friday night. So the adjustments that we made by the second quarter, once we figured it out, we started driving the ball and getting down. That's the thing. And you have to make these kind of adjustments on the fly.
Right. Yeah, like I said, that 14-7 remains right up until, almost near the end of the third quarter, and then a couple of miscues here and there. Williamsport was able to capitalize, but I mean, you have to credit the defense for the fight they put up for,
and I mean, you got to credit the
45 minutes.
the Williamsport coaches as well. For them to change that up midweek and do it midweek, and it didn't take us by surprise because they were kind of working on a pregame, and we noticed in pregame we weren't even out on the field yet, and they were still working. They had their whole team out there working on stuff. I'm like, what? Man, they're really out here early.
Yeah.
And then we said, kind of looks like they're shifting. Yeah, well, that's what they were getting. They were getting extra practice in before the game started, getting ready for us.
A little bit of extras. Well, Coach, I saw a quote on social media earlier this week. I know obviously that doesn't take the sting of the loss away, but I actually kind of liked it, and I referred to it on my social media earlier in the week. You didn't beat us, you just survived us, and you better remember that. And I think reading what I read on what Williamsport's head coach was quoted on it, I think they're going to remember it.
Oh, yeah.
Can always say there's always next year, but there's still a lot of noise to feel and a lot of noise to be made by this
There may
team.
not be next year because we could very well play Williamsport's in our sub-regional in the playoffs.
Sure.
We could be playing them week 11.
Which happened last year, of course. So
yep. In our sub-regional conference, it's us, Williamsport, Scranton, and Wilkes-Barre. The only team that's not on our schedule this year is Scranton. Williamsport, we played. Wilkes-Barre will play later in the season, but that's our grouping once playoffs come.
Right.
So whoever wins their first game plays the winner of the other game. So we could see Williamsport in week 11. We could see them in week 12. Now, we got a lot of stuff to do before we get there.
Lots of work.
We can't talk about playoffs or doing anything like that with a team that hasn't got their first win yet. And that's what we need to do. We need to learn how to win. We need to learn how to get up on a team and what to do. We're right there. But these are all new steps that we're going to have to take. That's early in the season. And that's the thing. We're week 2.
Yep.
We're in week 2. There's lots of teams that are 0-2.
Right.
There's lots of teams that could turn it around. And our future is bright.
Plenty of time. 2 games doesn't make a team. Neither do the scores. But like I said, just remember that quote. You didn't beat us. You just survived us. So key to Williamsport and those who come along here.
Yeah.
There's a long way to go. So we put to bed Williamsport. The sun will come up, sun will go down, up, down, and we're going to be a Friday night before you know it. Coach, we're going to get to our players of the game. Players of the game brought to you by Barbush Automotive and BLB Auto Sales. Barbush Automotive, 1299 Route 940 in Hazel Township. Serving the area since 1937. All of your car repair and maintenance. Their motto: we do it all. Just call. Please give them a call at 570-454-7571. Also housed on the premises, BLB Auto Sales. Be sure to check out their inventory online. www.barbushauto.com. BLB Auto Sales, 570-861-8393. Brian Barbush and the rest of his crew and staff always there to take care of your automotive repairs needs and such, whether it's an emergency or scheduled. And also, if you're looking to purchase, again, Barbush Automotive and BLB Auto Sales. Barbush Automotive, 570-454-7571. And BLB Auto Sales, 570-861-8393. Coach, I am going to step and grab the awards. If the boys want to come up and over and in.
Since there's two of them tonight, I'll hold the mic for them.
Yeah, and I'll let you hold. Oh, I guess,
that?
yeah, I'll hold those.
the
And
mic for
then
them.
we have two players this week. We have an offensive player of the game and a defensive player of the game. Coach, your choice first.
All right. Well, let's talk X first. So,
all right.
Xavier Heck.
Thank you.
So, 97 yards rushing.
Offensive player of the game, by the way.
In Nazareth, 95 yards rushing this past week. I know you averaged 8.5 yards a carry in the first game. I don't know what you averaged in this one, but I would have to say you're about 7.5, 8 yards a carry. So, it's a heck of 2 games and a heck of a start to the season. And really broke our drive that we scored, broke a couple plays wide open and cutting and running hard and breaking tackles and, everything of what we need. So congratulations.
I've been watching you for a long time, even at the Meet the Cougars. I saw your dad or your brother, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Joshua, who is a member of the coaching staff.
No, that's his dad.
Oh, it's your dad.
That's his dad.
Oh my God.
So yes,
I'm really showing my age now, Coach Sacco. I'm sorry,
So,
but I saw him and and then I saw you and I couldn't believe it. I mean, you're so grown up. How do you feel? I mean, this is your first one for the year and hopefully many more.
I feel great, just doing what I can to help my team win for sure. Watching film, getting better, and trusting my O-line for sure with their blocks.
This young man is a sophomore, as Coach Sacco mentioned a little bit earlier. How's it feel to be out there with a lot of guys bigger, stronger, faster? But you seem to make your way around these yard lines pretty well.
Yeah, it feels great. Freshman year helped a lot. Build my confidence up. I could play with guys that are 3 years older than me and stuff. So it helps my confidence definitely for sure this year to play better as a sophomore.
There's our offensive player of the week, Xavier Heck. And I promise I won't call his dad his brother ever again.
So his dad was my teammate.
Right.
And I played with his dad in midget football.
Oh, wow.
He was next to me on the line. And the one game they said, boy, Josh, you're pretty fast. Maybe we should move you to running back. I said, what about me? And they're like, no, you stay there. You stay there. And it was history after that. So, really, really excited to have him on our team.
Yeah, more to come from Xavier this year. Thank you and congratulations,
Thank you,
my friend. Next, we have the defensive player of the game, Jose Lopez. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So Jose had his second pick of the season, had a pick against Nazareth, against Mr. Falzone, who maybe one day you could tell your kids you picked off an NFL quarterback. All right. And had another great interception that turned the tide in the game this week. And Williamsport rushed for a lot of yards. They only passed for 63.
I saw that stat.
So this guy and the rest of our secondary with X back there too at safety really shut them down because they threw for a lot of passing yards the week before. And we said, nothing gets behind you. And this guy right here made sure it didn't. Went up, got a great interception, great return. And also does it for us on offense too. He was the touchdown grab that got called back.
Yeah, actually, that was one of the pictures.
Because we never checked where we line up.
And what are we going to do this week?
Check on the ball.
Yeah, always check.
Not to mention, as Coach said earlier, Jose is sophomore as well. Jose, I'll ask you the same things I asked Eck pretty much. I mean, how does it feel to be out there with a lot of these guys that are a little bit bigger, a little bit faster, a lot bit older? I mean, your thoughts?
I feel good about it. It gives me a lot more confidence. Like X said, I feel no matter how young I am compared to somebody else, that I can play the same as them.
I mean, both ways, right? Now, I mean, no problems at all, except for when we're checking on the line. And what are we going to do this week?
Check on the line.
There we go. There we go. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Both our offense and defensive players of the week. Thanks to X. Thanks to Jose. We'll see these guys Friday night. Once again, our players of the game brought to you by Barbush Automotive, BLB Auto Sales, 1299 Route 40 in Hazel Township. Again, thanks to the boys. Coach is going to hydrate. I really need to hydrate, but I can. So thank you so much. Quickly, before we get to our guests this week, quickly again, as I brought them in a little bit late this week, obviously, we touched on Barbush's. Want to thank our sponsors. Without them, we could not do what we do every week. Obviously having the thanks from the coaches, especially Coach Sacco and the program. Our sponsors are number one. Want to quickly recognize our season sponsors. Guy who's, when I mentioned this idea 2 months before it even went into play, my good friend Randy Marchetti, RL Marchetti's Plumbing and Heating, here in Hazleton, serving our area for over 110 years. You can schedule what you need done at the house, at the business. Hunting season is going to be coming up. He'll even drive in the woods for you and get you fixed up there. And of course, any time or day of the night, obviously within a considerable amount of time, also offering emergency service. Please give Randy and the guys a call at R.O. Marchetti Plumbing and Heating, 570-455-7335. So big thanks to Randy. I'm not sure if we'll have any Randy stories this week, but I think he'll survive. Also want to pay homage to our newest season sponsor. They were last week's game sponsor. Our good friends at Alta Pizzeria and Pasta House, 380 South Popular Street here in Hazleton. Neil, Renee, now being run by Dante. Renee's in there every so often. Neil's just living the high life, and God bless. Since 1992, the Chirico family has been in business up there on Popular Street. Some of the finest and best Italian food in our city, in our area. I want to quickly remind you, they are back again with this week's special. It is the 2 for $11.50 each, mix and match. You can find that on the graphic as well. I know I have to keep going here. What is part of that 2 for $11.50 each special? That is available every day. Cavatelli, Francesca pizza, ravioli, stuffed shells, a large antipasto, bone-in wings, and or a large pizza. So you can purchase 2 of those mentioned, which is also contained on the graphic on the right hand of your screen, at $11.50 each. It is called the Alta Pizzeria and Pasta House Mix and Match. That is available every day, Monday through Thursday, 10 to 10, Friday, 10 to 11, Saturday, 1 to 11, and Sunday, 1 to 10. Okay. Again, Alta Pizzeria and Pasta House. Also want to remind you that Dante's food truck, Alta's food truck, Dante's Inferno, will be all 3 days at the Bella Italia Festival, brought to you by Unico of Hazleton. That is going to be at Community Park in Hazleton, Hazel Township, this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, September 5th, 6th, and 7th. Dante would like me to remind you to stop by Dante's Inferno. It's not just going to be the food truck, though. They are going to have a food tent, and so I'm being told a festival inside of a festival with all the good stuff. I actually was able to purchase some good eats from Dante and Dante's Inferno a couple Sundays ago at the Children's Festival. 2 cannolis all to myself. So you have a lot of the traditional Italian foods, pizza, also the sweets, including cannolis. That's Dante's Inferno food truck this weekend at the Bella Italia Festival, Community Park, Hazel Township, September 5th, 6th, and 7th, this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. As it brings us over and we head to the bench, it is time for the Furo's Funeral Home On the bench segment with our special guest, Firo's Funeral Home, located at 26 West 2nd Street here in Hazleton. All your family needs it for the time, 570-454-1561. Serving the Hazleton and surrounding areas since 1892 with Director Jeff Firo and Supervisor Andy Piskel. This business is a great supporter of this program. Their sign hangs not too far from where we stand up on the other side of the field. Great supporters of the quarterback club and friends, personal friends of mine who have come on as our on the bench special guest sponsor. Firo's Funeral Home, 26 West 2nd Street here in Hazleton. So a great thanks to them. Get you to put that on there and move a little closer into the helmet. As we come into the onto the bench segment, like I said, we wanted to take a look at some other things that are involved around this program and things that go on every week. And very excited to have the director of bands, instrumental studio instructor for both the Hazleton Area High School and the Hazleton Area Arts and Humanities Academy. Mary Lichten-Wallner is here with us, the band director. Very excited to have her. It's very rare we get to get these away from the team thing, actually, but they are a part of the team. They're a part of the game day team. They're a part of the school spirit team. Mary, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Us. It's so awesome.
Appreciate it.
We got to meet a couple of weeks ago, and Mary's been around the whole band thing and the music program here in the district for the high school for almost the last 3 years. But Mary, tell us a little bit more. Give us your origins. That's what we like to do here on the bench, and then we'll get into what what you're doing for this season, this marching season, this football season.
Yeah, so I'm starting my 3rd year at the Arts and Humanities Academy. I started just after the football season in 2023 and took over the high school position. Been working on growing the band, trying to step out into the community a little bit more and supporting every aspect of the entire district.
Yeah, it's a big job, and it's not just this band that you see on the field every week either, is it?
No, we have a concert band that can be a class, as well as our instrumental studio students who audition to get into the Arts and Humanities Academy, both academically and performance-wise. And in addition to that, we also have our jazz band that meets after school, all of our indoor performing ensembles, and all those kids that can't fit band into their schedule,
right,
who still dedicate time during school and outside of school to attend rehearsals.
Like I said, there's a lot involved, and it's not just what you see on the football field here for 10 weeks or 11 weeks out of a season. Mary, tell us a little bit about the field show. I know the band did some stuff for Meet the Cougars, and thank you very much. They were a part of our big kickoff Meet the Cougars broadcast. Glad to have them come join us and get the spirit raising up at the end. But tell us a little bit about the field show you guys are doing this year. I know I read into it a little bit when we introduced all the members as we do the football team and the cheerleaders and Meet the Cougars, and what that is going to be and what it's going to entail for you guys this year.
So our show this year is called A Day of Play. It's a very high energy, high stamina show for our students. We open up with the iconic clarinet solo from George Gershwin's Rhapsody in Blue, played by one of our sophomores in the Arts and Humanities Academy at Lydia Pernick. And our band is playing on the playground, having fun within their sections. And then they go throughout the entire song, having a little bit of breaks to play in different ways. Our second movement is focused on hide and seek and duck, duck, goose, which we've got some cool flags coming in for our color guard. And then our third movement is a version of Cody Fry's I Hear Symphony, where we're going to explore a lot more of the beauty and imagination and playing all of these games in our head at the end of the day.
That's awesome. So it's a big playground this year.
Oh yeah, we've got a
50,
slide
right?
out.
That's awesome.
We've got swings and a monkey bar set that the percussion section actually has a feature on as well.
And performing that show and those pieces to go along with the movement in the show and such. There's a football field involved, but not a football game for, I guess it's 5 weeks competition season, right?
Yeah, our season is about 2 months for competition season. We have our first competition actually next Saturday. And then we don't end until Atlantic Coast Championships on November 2nd. So once we hit October in the band community, we call it Band-tober because you've got competitions, football games, rehearsals, and we're all preparing for our audition season and concert seasons as
Wow.
well. So it is incredibly busy once we hit that.
And like I mentioned, it's on a football field, but Friday night is spent game-wise. Usually Saturdays and or Sundays or both. If you're lucky, you have a double banger in there, which is always great. Makes for a fun weekend. Especially when you're totally involved, like the present of which we're speaking to. It's a big thing for the kids to be involved with. I know I can speak from my days. I was a percussionist back in the day, and it was a lot to look forward to when August rolled around with band camp. Obviously, you spend a week, right?
Two
Weeks of band camp, but there was always that major week of band camp, just like training for football and doing doubles and such. The band is out there working it. You guys play in the stands as well.
Yep. So band camp involved learning the show as well as trying to learn all of the stand tunes, getting everything memorized, and everyone really excited for the season to start.
Yep. And you guys went to both away games, right?
Yes, we did.
So you pretty much have it been so set to kick off the home opener this Friday night, right? 7:05, right here at Harmon Geist Memorial Field. A little bit of home cooking. I'm sure the kids will be happy with that, not having to be on a bus, especially with school being in this week and going right to it on Friday night.
Yeah, they're really excited. And it's always a different energy performing for a home game because you have all of your friends and family, and it's always such a bigger crowd at those home games actually watching you and taking an interest in what's going on as well.
Exciting. Mary, thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, thank you for having me.
I was really excited when we actually met before the Meet the Cougars, and it was my plan. This is going to help us. Again, as we always mention, it's a lot you see on TV, and we'll talk more about the TV in a little while this week. But get out here. I know the kids are just back in school. It's not just the game. It's what this young lady does with our students, our student musicians, and what you're going to see here before, during, halftime, during, and even a little bit after. So, Mary, thank you so much. Again, Mary Lichtenwallner, Director of Bands, Instrumental Studio Instructor at the Hazleton Area High School, and also the Hazleton Arts and Humanities Academy, are on the bench guest for this week. Mary, again, thank you. I'm going to take that from you. I think Coach is hydrated.
Yeah.
I'm still dying. If anybody could come up with an idea to help me with my hydration issues, we'll take you on as a sponsor. Well, again, thanks to Pharaohs for helping us up with that. As always, our on the bench sponsor every week, Pharaohs Funeral Home, 26 West 2nd Street here in Hazleton. Please give Jeff and Andy a call, 570-454-1561. And by the way, we still are taking sponsorships on. So if you're interested and you want to just give your business or whatever you're into just a little more, please give us a call at 570-778-5942. Also, you can PM us on Facebook, the local sports pod. Again, 570-778-5942, or on PM us on Facebook, the local sports pod. Season sponsorships still available. I know we're going to be 3 games in, but there's 7 more to go. Special rates. Also, we have game week sponsors. You can go by the game, and there's 1 or 2 other small sponsorships available. So again, if you're looking just for that extra little push, give us a call or PM us on Facebook. As we get back into the second half here, step over the goal marker and Coach's microphone back. I hope you're well hydrated. And now he's breaking it like I did the first week. But as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Coach had a great talk with the band director, Mary. Finally, these young Cougars are back home this week against West Scranton.
Yeah, it's two long road games. We are
Long road
excited
trips.
to
Longest
play
I'll
at
take
home.
all year.
Yeah, we're excited to play at home. I want to thank Mary for coming out here and coming on the pod. The band is important to us.
Big
I
time.
tell our players that there's nothing like a Friday night and hearing your band play when you score a touchdown. There's nothing like it.
That fight song means so much more.
Yeah.
So much
Yeah,
more.
it absolutely
I mean,
does.
when we did the initial Meet the Cougars when they came in behind us,
Mhm.
I mean, you could sort of feel it,
Yeah.
Giving us a Friday night game feel.
Yeah.
So now it's actually going to happen for real this
Yeah.
Friday.
So here we are, week 3, first home game. It's our alumni night.
Right.
So every home game is going to be a different theme that we have going on. So we're doing an alumni night. It's something that I always wondered why we never did do it. But any former Cougar player that played in this program pregame is allowed to come on the field, come on the sidelines, on our sidelines, either on our sidelines, around the end zone, around either side where we're warming up. They could come on the field pregame. I bring your kids. You want to show your kids where you played. A lot of kids running around. They want to go on the field.
Sure.
They want to. Every time my kids come down here, Dad, can we run on the field? Can we run on the field? They just want to get on the field, and keeping our younger generations involved and seeing that and wanting to be on the football field. That's how I got into football. I saw my cousins playing, and I wanted to be part of it, and I wanted to get on the field. So, any alumni, the quarterback club is actually sponsoring a nice big backdrop that's going to say, welcome alumni. So get your pictures taken in front of it, share all that stuff on social media.
And this is either whether you're a Mountaineer back in the day.
Yes.
I was a Mountaineer.
I got that question a couple times. You said, well, we weren't a Cougar. What if we were a Mountaineer? You're invited as well. Anybody that played for Hazleton, part of this program at any point in given time, pregame, you come on the field. I wish I could do it during the game, but with the amount of players that we've had come through here, we'd probably get another penalty for a sideline warning. So only pregame. And pregame, we start coming out on the field around like 5:35. Our kickers come out. So anytime between 5:30 to 6:30 is our pregame. So anytime in that time frame, you could come out, be on our sideline or in the end zone, watch us warm up, be out there, be a part of the Cougars for this year. But let's get on to West Scranton.
Yeah, 7:05 Friday night. A little bit of TV involved with this one. The game will be broadcast live on our local TV station, WYON TV 35. I believe it's Channel 7 on the cable, 35 on the antenna as long as you have a digital. I think it's 35.1. Also, if you don't wish to go that way, the Hazleton Area School District YouTube will have the game live as well. And as we mentioned, Coach, West Scranton Invaders make the trip down 81 and wander into the den. What do we know? Where are we headed? What's in store?
So they're 1-1 so far. They had a good win week 1 against Old Forge. They gave Abington Heights everything that they needed to handle last week. Abington Heights ended up beating them, but Abington Heights is a good team, and they hung right there with them. So this is not a slouch of a game in any sort of way. We're fighting for our life right now. We do not want to be 0-3. We didn't want to be 0-2, but here we are, and it's on to the next one. But 1-2 sounds a whole lot better than 0-3.
Right.
So that's what we're preaching all week, and we just got to want it. And I said this to our kids in film yesterday. The only ones that could beat us is ourselves. If we stop the mistakes, we stop the bleeding, we stop shooting ourselves in the foot, and we just reach down, and whoever wants this game is going to get it. And if they want it more, they're going to give us everything that we're going to get. But if we want it more, we could play with anybody. I said that at the beginning. I still believe that now. If we show up and we play our game, we will give any team that comes on the field with us fits. But we got to play our game. And that's the key. That's the key to it. Stop the mistakes. Stop the foolish penalties. Protect the football. Tackle well on defense. We need to swarm to the ball. We worked on tackling drills tonight. We went back to the basics tonight. Tonight, we flipped it. Usually on a Tuesday night, we do offense. We changed everything up. We went defense
Yeah,
tonight.
I noticed things a little different there when I came in here.
We went defense tonight, and we went back to the basics. Wrapping up, tackling, driving your feet. We said we haven't had many solo tackles. It's all been gang tackles. We need to start on first contact, wrapping up, driving our feet, tackling to the ground, and be football players. Be football players.
Be a Cougar. Be a Cougar. That's
Yep.
what it's all about. I think a little bit too, Coach, with being on the road. And I know we talked about this a couple of times in the past couple of weeks. I think with the ease of school starting with them now, but just being at home, not having to rush around on a Friday. We have to be here. We have to be there. We have to be on a bus by a certain time, getting back late. The whole fact that it's here at Harmon Geist Memorial Field, it's home. Got to be a huge part of their feel towards the day, towards the game day, towards the game, just being home.
Not only that, just playing in front of your crowd. When you do something right and your crowd cheers for you, that gives you energy. That feeds you. Not getting cheered against. And that's what we've gone against the last 2 games on the road. And 2 long games, not easy ones, not right up 81 to Wilkes-Barre.
Well, it's just like we mentioned before the Nazareth trip, these last going and forthcoming at the time were the 2 longest road trips you're going to take all year.
Yeah. I don't think I was ever in Nazareth before. That was probably my first trip to maybe drove by it, but I was actually never physically in Nazareth. So that was my first trip.
Valley.
Yeah, that was my first trip down there. We got on the interstate and started going out 80. I said, "Where are we going?" And bus driver said, "Well, it's close. Nazareth's close to Easton. It's close, to the border." So,
Yeah, you're right up there.
You go over, and then we go over, and then we then we cut
you
down.
cross that bridge. It's weird.
Yeah.
You think you're almost in New York because the signs are there.
We're excited to be home. We're excited to be on our field, play for our fans, be in our own locker room. It's you're here. You're at home. Everything's different. We practice on this field every day. We know the feel. We know the feel for it. We know, everything about here. We pretty much have lived here since June. So it's great to come back home, and I really hope that we just show up and put on a good show for our fans, and we play the type of football that we know we're capable of doing. And this is it. Week 3, it all comes together. And if it all comes together, it's just, you need a little snowball to start an avalanche. And that's it. And momentum is a hell of a thing. So we need that momentum. We need that going forward, because then, following up the following week, we get good old rival Berwick.
Absolutely. But no looking ahead. We got to concentrate on West Scranton, obviously, from a coach's perspective, yes. But it's like I said, it's just I don't know. Every week I walk in this place, as we do it every Monday, obviously today because of the holiday. I still get that feeling when I walk through those gates. If you had the availability to check things out on social media this past Sunday, Coach, his family, a few of the football players from the videos that I saw. I mean, just to walk in and see the Cougar paws that are now painted, leading you into the field.
This is how
the road out of the lane out of the locker room to the field where its traditional ropes would be held. I mean, it's not even happening yet, but you still get to kind of get that feeling in the gut.
This is how great of kids that we have. Me and my wife were coming to paint the Cougar paws, and we had our 2 kids with us.
Right.
So no help. It's Sunday. I said, let's just go do it. We had nothing going on. So we said we had to do it because there was games on Monday. I just sent out a text message in our group chat on our Remind.
Right.
And I had 7 players show up, come help. So, I mean, just great job. Great job. They helped us paint that, and they take that Cougar pride, and they want to make it better. Just something as simple as painting cougar paws on our blacktop, which, you would never think that it's the coach, the coach's wife, and his players doing that.
Right. When I saw the video, I was just like, wow. One of those feelings you just, when you see it, because I saw you, I saw Lauren, I saw the kids, but then to see the players and I just like, it's a good way to get ready for what's to come here.
So I'll give them a shout out who did it. It was Jake Zabataki, who's a senior captain.
Beast.
Sam Heller, who's a senior captain. Ryan Welsh, who's a senior. His younger brother, Justin Welsh, which I just think he made him come. But Justin was here, would do anything. Caesar Motel. Mikhail Exantos was here. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anybody. I think that was everybody.
And all in all, I mean, it wasn't, like Coach said, it was a voluntary thing. They look like they really enjoyed doing it.
They did.
They
did. They were talking about it and busting each other, and you missed a spot there, and
they look really cool.
Yeah.
If you haven't been to the stadium this week, I know a lot of the parents, already have and stuff, but you'll see when you get here Friday night, and that's what we're going to try to stress right now is, and Coach, I've mentioned it so many times. I know we have September 11th honoring next week, but that was one of my first experiences on the sidelines with the television side stuff that I do. And it's just such a feel when everybody, I've been here for that. The different players and coaches that we've honored with Bobby Tucker, being able to talk to him and his story, knowing Coach Matt since I'm about 4 years old. I look at that field house every time I walk in here and I'm just like, I know him, I knew him, getting to meet Bobby Tucker, like I mentioned. Again, we talked about it being alumni night this Friday night. Bring your families, your kids, your grandkids, whether you were a Mountaineer from back in the day, whether you were a Cougar from back in the day till now, it's been that long. Join us here for pregame, 5:30 to 6:30.
Yep.
You can hang out on the field, maybe run into some old teammates, your affiliation now with the program, and just have an all around fun pregame. And that's what this is all about. I described it a couple weeks ago, and when we saw the making the noise, it's a feel the noise, and it's going to be gorgeous. It is so nice out here tonight. I so was going to wear jeans. My wife's like, you better wear jeans. And I'm like, no, I'm going to brave it. There's no wind tonight.
It's warmer tonight than it was last week.
Yeah, we froze.
We both have a sweatshirt.
Yeah.
When I left here last week, I had the heat blasting in my truck.
Yeah.
Now tonight that I probably don't even need the sweatshirt, but I learned my lesson last week.
It makes me want to go for a walk when I go home. I mean,
the
moon was out here, almost a half moon out here.
Yep.
Just to the south of us. And the way I understand it, it's not supposed to be any worse and probably just as good this Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's a cold front moving in, so make your plans early. I know the kids are back in school this week, and that's another plus for this team. They have nowhere to go but here Friday night.
Yep.
Easing into school. Obviously, the kids have been off all summer. Again, the home opener this Friday night, 7:05. The West Scranton Invaders make their way into a very, very hungry Cougar den. The coach will lead them from that den to their battlefield against the West Scranton Invaders. Again, 7:05 kickoff. TV side, WYLN TV 35, Service Electric cable channel, I believe, here in Hazleton is 7. Also, if that's not to your liking, the Hazleton Area School District YouTube will carry the game as well. And I guess that kind of brings us into the end zone for a score on us on week 3. It's all out there now. It's time to move on. West Scranton is on their way. Again, thanks to Coach. Thanks to the school district for allowing us to be in here all these crazy hours. Thanks to Mary Lichtenwalder from the band. Come out, support the team, the band, the cheerleaders. That's what it's all about. Quickly, thank you to our sponsors. I will do it again. LR Marchetti Plumbing and Heating, Alta Pizza and Pasta House, both here in Hazleton as our season sponsor, Barbush Automotive and BLB Auto Sales out in Hazel Township for our player of the game. And our on the bench segment, as we bring in a special guest every week, Farrell's Funeral Home. As I can tell you here at the local sports pod, please, as you've been, it is growing so much, and I can only thank you and the people around this program for giving us the chance to be able to share just a little bit more, keep the interest going, and throughout the season and such. Just please remember to like, follow, share, and comment. Obviously, we come to you live every Monday. We're here on Tuesday due to the holiday yesterday. Hope everybody had a good one as well. Summer is over, so now it's time to roll. We come to you live here from Harmon Guys Field every Monday, live on YouTube at the local sports pod. Also, immediately following up on Facebook and highlights on Instagram, both the local sports pod. Reminds you our next show, again, will be a week from yesterday, a little less than a week from today, September the 8th, where we will, again, talk about what happened here, hopefully with a win over West Scranton and what's to come with the Cougars' next opponent a week from this Friday, which will also be another home game, and we'll talk about that. Again, like I mentioned, all again Monday next week, September 8th. Again, thank you. Thanks to the coach, the district. Mikey Sosar signing off. West Scranton coming in this week. Hopefully you get the big W. Let's go Cougars.